And then the daddy gave him the ugly one. She was ugly. I mean, hard on the eyes. That's what the Bible says. She was hard on the eyes. And that girl said, man, I didn't work this hard for that. And he said, work 3 more years and I'm going to give you the one you want. So he works 3 more years, finally gets the one he wants. And Pastor, I'm sorry. You can fix it when I leave. And Ray, you brother, women know either. Women don't want no man hawk on their eyes. And so he gets Leah, but he didn't want Leah. He wanted Rachel. Working on my Rachel too. And Leah is popping out babies like quotas. I mean, it's just like if she breathed, she popping out babies. And Rachel is getting discouraged because she's the wife he wants, but can't give him what he wants. The wife he don't want is giving him what he wants. And so that makes her discouraged. Now she's getting what she wants. You ain't never been in a position like me. I've been in a position where somebody that ain't righteous, that don't study, that don't pray, that don't tithe, that don't nobody want, but they getting all the blessings that I want. I'm sitting here looking at them like, what is up with that, God? How is it that I'm doing what I go to do? I'm sacrificing, I'm loving my wife, I'm praying, I'm tithing, I'm doing the best I can, and I'm sitting over here stuck like Chuck. God, what is up with that? Oh, I'm going to get over here because y'all don't know. But I'm talking about if anybody ever watched folks that you know ain't right getting the blessing that you want, and you trying to figure out, God, how come you blessing them? They don't love you, they don't trust you, they ain't serving you. And then boom! Rachel's tomb. I'm working on Rachel's tomb. So Rachel, like Pastor P, getting a little frustrated. You know, because now this one that ain't doing right, she getting all the blessings. And here I am over here trying to do right. I ain't perfect. And you know, I know you real good. You ain't perfect. You ain't perfect. Pluck my nerves one good time. See? I ain't perfect, but God, you know the intent of my heart. You know the intent of my heart. And the Bible says that God looked on Rachel. In other words, what Leah could do naturally without God, God looked on Newbirth, Spartanburg. What she could do and was doing it with arrogance and pride and looking at Rachel like, how you think you all of that? God walked over here to Spartanburg and looked on Spartanburg. Now you don't know what looked on me, but when God turns his face towards you, that means his blessing is coming towards you. And he said, now Newbirth, you like you ain't. But God about to look at you. They trusted in horses, trusted in men, and trusted in money. But I need somebody in the camp that's just been trusted in the name of the Lord. Somebody that says, God, I ain't got no horses, I ain't got no money, but I'm going to trust in your name. And anybody in here been just trusted in the name of the Lord? Your job ain't doing it for you. Your home ain't doing it for you. All you got is God himself. If that's you, give God a shout of praise in here. All I got is God. All I got. I need some favor. I wasn't born with a silver spoon. I need some favor, brother. See, they don't know I used to have to get down and get grimy to get what I had to get until God favored me. And he says, Newbirth, Spartanburg, get ready to go to Rachel's tomb. Don't go to Leah's tomb. Go to Rachel's tomb. Because Rachel was the favored wife. Rachel was the one that God looked upon. Rachel was the one that God said, I'm going to open your womb. I'm going to do for you what you've been wanting to do for yourself. I'm getting ready to help you get that business started. I know the bank's going to turn you down. I'm getting ready to help you walk in the door that's been closed. Because if I open the door, can't no man shut it. And if I shut it, can't no man open it. I'm getting ready to favor you, overshadow you with me. He says, go to Rachel's tomb. And then he says, now, when you get there, what you've been looking for ain't even an issue no more. It's favor and stuff there. And then he says, once you get here, you're going to run into some haters. And they're going to want you to come back to where you just left. They're going to want you to come back to poverty. They're going to want you to come back to the street. They're going to want you to come back to where they are, because they didn't want to wait on God like you. Now God done favored you. Now you got some haters to say, I want you to come back. His father was like, where is my son? I want him to come back home. And the Bible says, by the prophet Samuel, he says, go on forward. Go on forward. Moving forward. 2011. And if your man of God said it's time to move forward, then it's time to move forward. This time next year I come back in here, this joint better be full at the first service. This joint better be full at the second service. And if he chooses to have a third service, that's on him. But y'all better move your tail forward. Get out in the street and go get the drug dealer. Go get the prostitute. Go get the sick. Go get the lame. Bring them into the house of God so the man of God can prophesy into their life so they can move forward too. This is on your shoulder now. Hope it's on tape, CD, MP3, MP4, something. And he says, verse 5, after that, after you move forward, you think favor is the blessing. He said, no, no, no. After you move forward, after you go to Rachel's tomb, after you decide to do what you got to do, after you move on and get done with the vision is saying get done, after this, he says, you shall come to the hill of God where the Philistine garrison is. And it will happen when you have come there to the city that you will meet a group of prophets.